Hi everyone, I'm Chelsea Sanford, the Client Partner Director at MyWave. Today I'm going to speak to you about agentic AI and how it can help you, your business, and your employees improve productivity and do more work with less people. Let's get started. So before I begin, I want to talk about Business One and how we came to fruition. MyWave was started in 2013 by Geraldine McBride, who was the CEO and president of North America at SAP. Before that, she was the president of SAP APJ. And she had this idea about creating a technology that would help employees get their time back and do the work that they love. So now we have grown into a global company where we have over 150 partners globally and are still growing as we speak. We are seeing between 60 to 90% productivity gains with every AI agent that is deployed across Business One. We generally talk about wave processes. This is our internal word about an AI agent doing the work from start to finish. So, what is slowing you down in your business and why you should consider agentic AI? SAP Business One teams are losing between 10 and 25 hours per week on tasks that could be automated, relieving your team and letting them do the work that you actually need them to do. This is how it's all adding up. There's too much manual work, so quotes, approvals, invoice management, reporting, reconciliation across banks. There are all of these delays and disruptions to your flow. So your teams are stuck chasing updates, syncing inventory, waiting for sign-offs from senior leadership in order to move forward. And as a result, there is time that's lost and opportunities that are lost because your best people are working on these low-level value tasks and not growing your business. And the thing is, as you're expanding your business, you're using the same workload. So you're using the same team and not thinking about how you grow. So the way that you can, instead of hiring more people and training them up, you can use AI agents to do these start to end tasks to make your business move faster. The longer you delay automation, the more you pay in loss of productivity and missed opportunities. This is what we're seeing across all of our competitors, such as NetSuite, Microsoft. You are needing an ERP that is needing to help you and your people move faster. So where did agentic AI come from? As you can see, in 1995 was where all the offshoring, centralization, and standardization of projects were happening. These are your 50 to 100 team projects that were deep coded, leading to long implementation cycles, looking at a much longer time span in terms of those transitions of that automation. And then in the early 2020s, we started to see RPA coming as a rise between 2015 and 2020. Now, this transformed the way that we were seeing business done because there was a level of automation. But bots can only do so much. They're not in a position to take on human logic. They're not in a position to make a decision if anything complex comes into their decision-making process. So this is where the rise of generative AI came in. And as you can see, around COVID times, we were seeing generative AI such as Llama, APPTech, ChatGPT, all creating these models where you were driving content, you were asking questions for these LLMs to answer you. But this is where agentic AI comes in. You can use generative AI in order to prompt a task or an agent to do a piece of work, but you need a process domain model in order for the model to learn human logic. So this is where agentic AI came in. What we're still seeing in the market is a lot of competitors are using RPA and LLMs in a marriage together. But as I mentioned, LLMs are not reliable. They don't always react the same way. So every time an LLM and a bot meets, you cannot be guaranteed that the outcome will be the same. And this is where process domain models are vital in terms of any agentic AI or task-orientated agents are going to be working. And what we're seeing is that there's 75% faster delivery and 85% lower cost because these agentic AI models are flexible. They are not coded. They are all based on prompts in MyWave's Innovation Hub. So you, as the user, could speak to your partner and say, I want to have a process that does X, Y, Z, and we can create that for you. But if there's 5 years' time and you change your system of record, or you want to do something that connects to a CRM system, that same task can be modified and adapted so that it's not a huge cost to create something. So in summary, this is what McKinsey and company have said, that agents automate processes within organizations, augmenting the work of employees and customers and fully digitalizing the processes. So you still need a human in the loop. You are not looking for full automation where an agent is just going to run off and do something without your control. So this is the beauty of agentic AI, where you have a digital co-worker who can learn some of the tasks that your team members are doing. So to go further into what an AI agent is, number one, it understands the context. It's not rule-based automation, so it learns you as a user, your behavior, and the data that you're inputting into it. It works across any system. So I know we're speaking about Business One today, but we work across Salesforce, HubSpot, Monday.com, legacy systems. So there are not these silos. It's all about a better experience for you as a user to work with your digital coworker to be able to get the work done. And as it says, it acts like a digital employee. It reads, writes, validates, and takes actions under the control of human oversight. While continuously improving, we have recursive learning. So the more that you work with your agent, the more your agent will be adaptable and understand your needs. So let's jump into it. Here is an example of the Find My Anything agent. This is a brand new agent from MyWave and just been released by our factory. So imagine you're in Business One and you are looking for anything across your system. You are trying to find leases, you're trying to find invoices. I'm going to ask you to stretch your imagination about what you're looking for across your ERP. But you would plug into MyWave that you're looking for these lease documents. MyWave is thinking and looking for these documents for you to review. And then it is summarizing everything below. It's asking if you want anything else, any related documents. And now you can ask which need renewal clauses. So in terms of what needs to happen next. MyWave is thinking and going across the system. And then you as a user have the ability to look at all of these documents and go to them if needed. So this is an example of where it can be quite knowledge-based in terms of where you're asking MyWave to pull something. And you're comparing the royalty terms now, trying to understand your different lease agreements. So here you have the summary. Everything is condensed into one view for you as the user. Now you can ask it to find me an answer. So think of it as a ChatGPT look and feel. However, I'm going to show you as we move on how it can complete a task. But you've asked MyWave to look into something for you, giving you an answer. It's thinking. Now, this is when you are creating something. This is a wave process in terms of how we do that. Now, jumping ahead to the 18 agents in the cloud, these are our most popular agents that are available from our factory, but also if you're on the cloud and hosted by a cloud provider, you can access these in one bundle. They, as I mentioned, are the most in-demand agents for our partners across the world. We are deploying these as non-customized AI agents, so they are ready to use. If you wanted something that is more customized to your business, we can have that conversation with you and we can do something that is bespoke to your business, creating that extra value. But why not spread this across as many users as you want within your business to be able to do some of these processes? So here's another example with business partner pricing inquiry. You're asking MyWave for the business partner pricing to have a look at the system to be able to see what you need. So you're going to go to Anthony Smith or whichever partner is needed. Which item are you looking for? You're looking for a printer, I believe. And there's a drop down there going through SAP, pulling all the information to you. And now MyWave has summarized everything for you. It's given you the price. It's asked if you want to search. You've said no. And you can have an ongoing conversation with MyWave as you have this relationship. Now this is product assistant. You're looking for the availability. And you've asked for the ink pack photo paper kit. And you want to see if it's available. Now you can either write in MyWave in the conversational AI, or you can have remote buttons below where you can see those. So it doesn't matter, it depends what language you want to use. MyWave is compatible with all European languages as long as they go left to right. But at the same time, if anything needs to be customized, we can have a conversation about that. And now you're looking for how many units. So you've put in 3 to see if it's available. And now MyWave's summarizing everything that it can find within the system, as well as alternative items. Again, MyWave summarizing everything that it's pulled from Business One. And you say no, and that's the end of your conversation. So key areas of opportunity for you as a customer to utilize MyWave and see where it is most beneficial. So where we're seeing the biggest sectors in terms of where MyWave is working. So we focus a lot on industry-specific solutions. So we're across retail, finance, supply chain, manufacturing. But as you can see, sales and customer engagement, where MyWave can almost be that agent talking to your end customer, master data and system maintenance, operations and logistics, as well as process automation and support. So if you needed customer support or using MyWave as a bit of a portal to be that better interface with your customers or you within your team, that could be really useful. So as mentioned, you can see we are seeing 70% on average faster configuration and deployment in terms of how you can pick up these agents and use them and be able to utilize those productivity gains, which is up to 60 to 90%. Another example, this is one of my favorites, and please excuse the longer video, but it's really important to show you a before process versus an after process. So this is what we did with one of our partners in the UK, and this is creating a business partner on Business One. We have a time at the bottom where it's already sped up, but keep an eye on that and see how long this is taking. So you're opening Business One. Many of you do this on a daily basis and probably would say to me, Chelsea, I have an expert at this who's done this for 10 years. He or she is really fast. Why would I change it? But look at all the steps you're taking. You're researching and collecting additional data. You are copying and pasting. It's prone to error. It's prone to taking a lot of time. So all of these things that you are doing across all these different windows and different screens is not a great user experience. I did a talk at my university a couple of months ago and showed this to a group of 20-year-olds. And I said, this is what a lot of people work on in an ERP system. And they said, we're not going to work on that. That looks terrible. So anyway, continuing to the demo. So in the UK, this is credit save. This is how you gain credit scores. So you put in the company VAT number, credit save pulls that out, and you then have your credit score that is then pushed through, and then you are copying and pasting that into Business One. So we are now sitting at nearly 3 minutes in terms of doing this process. And at the time, this was a customer who was doing this 10 times a day. So it's a task that is taking a really long time. And that is taking 3 minutes, 13 seconds in total. Now with MyWave, it is a much more seamless experience. You can prompt MyWave with the VAT number. MyWave is plugged into Business One, the internet, and Credit Save. So all three systems are orchestrated across this one platform. The customer name comes up, the address. The customer in this example wanted multiple steps and to be human in the loop at every point in time. So you are adding in all of those steps, but you could do one single summary where everything comes together. So as you can see, it is one interface. This is where we are speaking to Credit Save. The score is 96 and the new customer has been created. So that is 1 minute 16, saving 60% of the time. So your people and your employees will have a much more easier experience across Business One rather than having to plug that in manually. This is more of a customer service example, but this is a you as a business would receive an email, basically for a sales quotation. You can copy and paste it from your email, or you could upload it as a PDF. In this example, we're going to copy and paste it. And MyWave's LLM is reading everything that it needs to do in order to record back into Business One. So now the sales quotation has been successfully created within Business One. Now this sales order is going to go into a purchase order. So you can now copy and paste it, or you can, again, upload it, but you are saying that this quote has been approved. So now you are going into the next step. And now that has been created within Business One. So MyWave is a much more faster way than having to click through Business One, having to approve it, do the multiple interfaces. This is a sales order from a purchase order. So again, you can use remote buttons or you can upload it as a PDF. MyWave's LLM is reading the document. That could be in a Word document. We've even tested it with handwriting when it's been scanned in or as a picture. MyWave's LLM is summarizing everything and putting it into these two windows for you. So you can see across the two different pages, if there's any discrepancies in the item description, MyWave will tell you as the user. As you can see, there is a character count that needs to be amended. So you as a user reduce that. And now MyWave hasn't picked up the customer name from that purchase order. So you as a user need to plug that in. It has now been created and put into Business One. So let's jump to Business One, where we can now see it recorded back in. down to your sales orders. Business one is loading. So there are your remarks that you put in. Those are the items, and your PDF has been saved at the bottom in the attachment section. Now, this is quite a fun one. We're getting to the end of this, so keep with me. And if there are any questions, I will leave my email address at the end of this presentation for you to reach out or speak to me further about any of these AI agents that you may be interested in. So this is in sales. This is a partner in Europe who wanted to create something for their customer where their salespeople were not inputting any of their visit reports when they were going to visit a customer. They were just saying, good meeting, our good client relationship. There was no details around the meeting or what next steps needed to happen. So we created this AI agent where either on a mobile phone or on a tablet, you can speak into MyWave using the voice-enabled microphone, talk into Business One. We've tested this with alternative languages as well and seen really good results. So you as the user are speaking in, and then you are continuing. MyWave is reading all of that and summarizing the key points that were discussed, if there were any invoices that were outstanding, any actions that need to be taken, and it does a sentiment analysis. So if it was a negative meeting or something went wrong, it could prompt something to a sales director or an account manager to look into it and have a conversation in order to rectify it. So in summary, AI agents are built for results, not for hype. They're here to do work that employees are wanting to offload and wanting to share with. We're at a point where technology and generative AI is creating a lot of work, but agentic AI is taking that back. It's the ability to have autonomy, but also control over the work that AI agents are doing. So what does this mean for your business? You say what you want done, the AI agent gets it done. Create a sales order or purchase order, match invoice to GRPO. AI agents can handle these steps across multiple systems. They are the orchestrators or the project managers that are able to do things for you to make things go faster. And this is where we see those outcomes that are accurate and fully traceable because it is always being recorded back into a system of record. This, in turn, allows your team to focus on their customers and not clicking through their ERP. So what you'll gain with AI agents, saving time, automating approvals, updates, getting that fast speed across your ERP, saving and freeing up 10 to 25 hours per week, cutting costs, but at the same time, not needing to increase costs as your business grows. So you are able to offload some of these tasks to those agents. Faster work, reducing delays across finance, inventory, supply chain. And as I said, to reiterate, 60% of that is that productivity gain. Minimizing the risk because the process domain models and these workflows have been adjusted to reduce those errors and to make it a much more flexible but very rigid way of business being done, so errors within your team would not happen. And then deploying these, getting fast and live in weeks because these are not deep coded processes or automation that needs to be tailored or specific to your business. You are able to do that, but in a much flexible way. So there's no upgrades, no rebuilds, no new licenses. It's just based on your Business One users who want to have a much better experience. And as it says on the bottom, it's the fastest, easiest way to make SAP Business One smarter and your business more scalable. It's the AI offering for the mid-market in SAP Business One. So please get in touch with your SAP partner. Feel free to scan this QR code and get in touch with me. My details are at the bottom. But thank you so much for your time, and I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and we'll speak very soon. Thank you. Goodbye.